Hello, my name is Hans George Campbell, and tonight I'm going to show you how to set up the JoyToKey software for your USB arcade controller. Okay. JoyToKey is a shareware program that you can download, and it only costs like $7 to register it, so I would highly recommend paying the $7 and registering the program, because it is a good program. I haven't registered my copy yet, but I will. As soon as I get some more money in PayPal, I'll register my copy of JoyToKey. Anyway, this is the main program screen here, and we're going to go ahead and set up a profile for first-person shooter games. Okay, so this right here is your first joystick. This is joystick 2, and this is your point of view. And these here are your buttons. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to set up the joystick. And the joystick is going to be used in place of the WASD keys. Okay, so you click on what you want to change, and then you click on Edit Button Assignment. Okay, so in this case, we want to press the A key, and then we hit OK. This way, whenever we move the joystick to the left, it'll be just as if we hit the A key. Okay, we'll go to the next one. And that one's going to be the D key, so that whenever we move the joystick to the right, it's the same as pressing the D key. That one's going to be the W key for moving forward. And this one is going to be the S key for moving backward. Okay, so we now have set up the joystick to emulate, pressing A, D, W, and S. All right, so every time we use the joystick, we're actually moving our character around. Okay, so now we're going to set up our buttons. And we have 8 buttons to set up. So button 1 is going to be our primary fire button, our shooting button. And that's usually the left mouse button. So we'll click on mouse, and we click on left. As you can see, it changed it. Button 1 is mouse left click. Okay, button 2, that's going to be our right mouse button, because that's our alt fire. So again, we go to mouse, and we click on right. So now we've set up our 2 mouse buttons. Okay, button 3 is going to be set up for when we need to open a door or use something. It's our activate button. So I think I have that set for the enter key, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so button assignment, we're going to press the enter key. Okay, and now button 4, that's going to be our jump key, which is the space bar. Okay, and let's see, buttons 5 and 6, those are going to be our strafing buttons. So button 5 is going to be our Q key for strafing left. Okay, and then button 6, that's going to be our E key for strafing right. Okay, so now we have all our primary play buttons set up. Okay, now button 7, that's going to be our previous weapon, which is that key right there. Okay, that's the previous weapon. That's the button 7 and 8 are the two lighted buttons. Okay, button 8 will be the next weapon. So buttons 7 and 8 is how we scroll through our weapons. So that's going to be that key. And click on OK. And that should be it as far as, what we need for using this arcade controller for first-person style games. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to rename it to FPS Games. This way we know that that profile that we just set up is for FPS Games. Okay, and then we click on, we want to save that. And that's it. We now have a profile for our arcade controller for first-person shooter games. So let's set up a different profile for a different type of game. So we'll click on Create, and we'll click on, we'll type in World of Warcraft Mage. So we're going to set up this arcade controller so that we can actually use it to play our mage in World of Warcraft. Now, ideally, you'd want more than 8 buttons, but I'm just using this as a way of demonstrating how to set up this program. So as you can see, because it's a brand new profile, everything now is set back to normal. Back to the default of none. Okay, so again, the way we move our tune, well, the way I move my tunes in World of Warcraft is I use the arrow keys. So the joystick is going to take the place of the arrow keys. Okay, so first we have that. Okay. Okay, we've now just set up the joystick to move our tune around, our mage around in World of Warcraft. Okay, so we don't have to use the arrow keys anymore. So now we're going to set up our buttons for our spells. Button 1 will be for Frostbolt, which I have assigned to the 6 key on my keyboard, because I use the numeric keypad, but I also use the number keys as well. So this is for our Frostbolt spell. Button 2 is going to be for Ice Lance, which I have assigned to key 5. Okay, and then Comet Storm I have set up as key 4. Okay, so there's the 3 main DPS spells of a Frost Mage: Frostbolt, Ice Lance, and Comet Storm. Okay, button 4 on this particular arcade controller happens to be green. Okay, and green is what I have assigned on my mechanical keyboard as the tab key, or the targeting key, for targeting what mob you want to attack, what monster you're trying to attack or kill. So that will be our targeting key, which is, I have assigned it to the tab key. So that's going to be tab. That's our targeting key right there, button 4. Okay, button 5. Okay, even bolt and flurry work together. If you notice, whenever you cast even bolt, right after you cast it, flurry lights up. That means you're supposed to press flurry right after you cast even bolt. So button 5 will be for even bolt, which I have assigned to the 8 key. Okay, and then flurry I have assigned to my 2 key. Okay, so now even bolt. Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh. I set up the wrong buttons. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, we got. No, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. That's even bolt, and that's flurry. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. Now we're going to set up the 2 lighted buttons, buttons 7 and 8. Button 7 is going to be my blink spell. I do use that quite a bit. So we're going to set that up for the blink spell, which I have assigned to the 1 key. Okay. And then last but not least, button 8, that's going to be our ice barrier. You know, a frost mage has to have his shield on, ice barrier. Okay. So I have that assigned to the 0 key. Okay, so now this arcade controller is set up to play a mage in World of Warcraft. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and save that. And then if you wanted to, you could also create a profile for Hyperspin and a profile for Maximus Arcade, a profile for Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, you know, and the list goes on, you know. A profile for GZ Doom or Brutal Doom, you know, or Serious Sam, and you can have them all listed here, and just whichever one you need to use for your play session, you just click on that, and that's the one that your USB arcade controller will use. So yeah, let me make sure I save that. Okay, and then you still have the FPS games. See, it's different. And the WoW Mage, it's different. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you how to set up this program for your USB arcade controller. Anyway, that's it for this video. My name is Hans George Campbell, and until next time.